Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada Nichai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to see the second module of Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhakti Yoga portion, which is coming from 7th chapter to 12th chapter. In the 7th chapter already we saw 3 verses. Now we will be seeing the description of what is matter and what is spirit soul and what is Supreme Lord Ishvara. So 3 things are covered here. In the introduction we saw Prakriti, we also saw Jiva, and we also saw Ishvara. So a detailed description of Ishvara is about to come. But before that, what is matter? That is Prakriti. That is also Apara Prakriti. That is also our material nature. That is described in one verse. And then the second verse, the Jiva is described. And then the Lord is being described. Continuously, Lord description is there. Okay. Let us just share it. One minute. Okay. So this is the verse which talks about the internal and external energy. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 4. Bhumir apo analo vayu kammanor buddhire vacha ahankara iti amme binna prakritir ashtata. So, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego all together, these 8 constitutes my separated material energies. So totally, we generally talk about Panchaputa, where we talk about earth, water, fire, air, and ether. But here we see 3 subtle elements are also there, not just gross elements. These 5 are gross elements. We can see, we can feel, we can touch, we can feel the texture, there is taste. So we can feel these 5 things, which are Panjabhuta, earth, water, fire. But mind, intelligence, ego, or false ego are subtle. Okay, all together constitute my separated material energies. So this is what is the description of external energy. There are more going to be coming, but this is beginning. Okay. Can somebody read the purport?
The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti, or the energy of the Lord in his different Purusha incarnations, expansions, as described in the Narada Pancharatra, one of the Satvata Tantras. विष्णोस्तु त्रीणि रूपाणि पुरुषाख्यानि अथो विदु एकं तु महतः स्रष्टृ द्वितीयं त्व अन्धसंस्थितं तृतीयां सर्वभूतस्थं तानि ज्ञात्वा विमुच्यते. For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes 3 Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahatattva. The second, Garbhodakshayu Vishnu, enters into all the universes to create diversities in each of them. The third, Kshodaka Sai Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading super soul in all the universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement. This material world is a temporary manifestation of one of the energies of the Lord. All the activities of the material world are directed by these three Vishnus, expansions of Lord Krishna. These Purushas are called incarnations. Generally, one who does not know the science of God, Krishna, assumes that this material world is for the enjoyment of the living. Mataji, can you scroll? Enjoyment of the living entities, and the living entities are the Purushas, the causes, and that the living entities are the Purushas, the causes, controllers, and enjoyers of the material energy. According to Bhagavad Gita, this atheistic conclusion is false. In the verse under discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of the material manifestation. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms this. The ingredients of the material manifestation are separated energies of the Lord. Even the Brahma Jyotir, which is the ultimate goal of the impersonalist, is a spiritual energy manifested in the spiritual sky. There are no spiritual diversities in the Brahma Jyotir as there are in the Vaikuntha Lokas, and the impersonalist accepts this Brahma Jyotir as the ultimate eternal goal. Mataji, can you scroll down? The Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world. Therefore, the factual absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He is the complete energetic person and he possesses different separated and internal energies. In the material energy, the principal manifestations are eight, as above mentioned. Out of these, the first five manifestations, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, are called the five gigantic creations or the gross creations, within which the five sense objects are included. They are manifestations of physical sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Material science comprises these 10 items and nothing more. But the other three items, namely mind, intelligence, and false ego, are neglected by the materialists. Philosophers who deal with mental activities are also not perfect in knowledge because they do not know the ultimate source, Krishna, the false I am and it is mine, which constitute the basic principle of material existence, includes 10 sense organs for material activities. Intelligence refers to the total material creation called the Mahatattva. Therefore, from the eight separated energies of the Lord are manifest the 24 elements of the material world, which are the subject matter of Shankaya atheistic. Shankaya atheistic philosophy. They are originally offshoots from Krishna's energies and are separated from him. But atheistic Shankaya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know Krishna as the cause of all causes. The subject matter for discussion in the Shankaya philosophy is only the manifestation of the external energy of Krishna as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Om Tat Sat, thank you. So, very nice purport. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So, Krishna starts explaining about his external energy. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, and intelligence, and false ego. These 8 things constitute my separated material energy. So, here, Krishna has many energies. He has his diverse energies. They are called Prakriti. So material nature is called Prakriti, but actually all the three are called Prakriti only. There are two things, Prakriti and Purusha. So Purusha is Supreme Personality of Godhead and Prakriti is his energy. So this Prakriti can be divided into 3 categories. Here what is described as the material energy, material Prakriti. There is transcendental and material Prakriti. The material Prakriti is this material world, is creation, everything, all the items here, everything included is material Prakriti. Spiritual is Vaikuntha planets and everything spiritual is Para Prakriti. And the Jiva also belongs to the spiritual energy, but it belongs to another category called marginal energy. It's not internal energy. So both internal energy and marginal energy are spiritual. Only the external energy is material. All these three are called Prakriti, and Krishna himself, from whom the Shakti comes. Energy means Shakti, right? So from whom that energy emanates, and that personality himself is Ishvara or Purush. Here actually mentioned Purusha and Prakriti. In material creation, cosmic manifestation, there are two concepts. One is Prakriti, one is Purusha, another is Prakriti. So Purusha is the reason for creation, Sarvakarana Karanam, the reason for everything. And then Prakriti is is also the ingredients, provides the ingredients for material manifestation. So the material manifestation is by the, generally here what we call as Prakriti is nothing but the external energy only. Okay. So if you want to know the signs of God, here Prabhupada is clearly mentioning, we need to know this. Huh? The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Hmm? There are different types of energies. So it is generally categorized under three categories, but within each of these three categories, there is many. Hmm? Okay. Now, this Purusha has to be understood. There are three Purusha incarnations. So whenever the creation of material world happens, there are three Vishnus. Hmm? So you need to tell me now. I'll be asking you. Yeah, anyway, the answer is directly there. So okay. Now, whichever Vishnu, quickly you need to answer. Okay. Whoever is unmuting and quickly answering, it's up to you. Mm. Which of these three Vishnus we know? Mahavishnu or Garbhodaka Sai, sorry, Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, and Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. From which Vishnu is Brahma is born?
Garbhodak Sai Vishnu.
Very good. Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Okay, which Vishnu expands as Paramatma?
Kshirodak Sai Vishnu.
Very good. Which Vishnu comes from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu?
Kshirodak Sai Vishnu.
What about others? Now, Akarshak, your chance over. You have to wait. When nobody is answering, then you can answer. From which Vishnu Mahavishnu is coming?
Garbhodak Sai Vishnu.
So Mahavishnu, what is another name for Mahavishnu? Topmost of all the Vishnu. Topmost of all the Vishnus.
Shri Sankarsan.
You have to read Chaitanya Charitamrita for that. Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, not from that, Vasudeva. But anyway, we are not talking about that. I just wanted to play around these three Vishnus to understand whether you have understood properly or not. What is another name for Mahavishnu?
Kshirodak Sai Vishnu.
Jagannath Prabhu, yes. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu or the topmost Vishnu. Okay? He in the material creation. He is the beginning. So first comes Karanodaka Sai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. So he is, okay. Is Paramatma, of course, Paramatma Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is single, but does he expand into many?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Localized aspect Paramatma. And does Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu expand into many?
No.
Garbhodaksha only expands into Shirodaksha.
Very good. Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu expands into Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Does Mahavishnu expands into many? Or Karanodaka Sai Vishnu?
Yes.
How many?
Don't know, but Garbhodaksha Vishnu is
No,
coming
there is
from there.
some crux in it, I'm telling you. Think.
In each universe,
Yes.
expand like
How
that.
many?
I mean, in each universe.
So how many ever universes are there? That many Garbhodaka Sai
Yes.
Vishnu are. Very simple. So how many ever universes are there? That many Garbhodaka Sai Vishnus are there. So you have to understand it very, very clearly. First, what happens in the spiritual sky, in the corner of the sky, one black cloud comes, and there is a water, Karana water, in which there is Mahatattva. That Mahatattva is unmanifested form of matter. Means now we see varieties, no? Without the varieties, there is a Mahatattva. When you come to Bhakti Vaibhava, you will study that in detail. But right now, just basically, I'll give only that much you understand and no questions asked. Okay. The reason is detail is there. If we deviate from Bhagavad Gita, then we'll go into some other subject. But you should understand these three of them, so I am bringing the topic. And in that ocean of Karana ocean, Lord comes and lies down. And then what happens? He breathes out the bubbles. Each of the bubble is a universe. And the bubble is half filled with water. And that water is called Garbha water. So there is a difference between Garbha and Karana. Karana water and Garbha water. Two different things. So that each of the bubble, again he expands into Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and enters there and lies down within that Garbha ocean. And in that, a lotus is sprouting out of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's navel, where Brahma is born. So Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's Garbha, Hiranya Garbha. Then Brahma is born. Brahma does mother, father, everything is Vishnu only. And then each of the universe have different heads, Brahma, one-headed, four-headed Brahma, 10-headed Brahma, 100-headed Brahma, 1,000-headed Brahma. Depends on the size of the universe, so many Brahmas are there. They are all there. Now, within that universe, in order to manage, he is going and lying down in a ocean of milk. So there are three oceans we can see. Karana ocean, in which Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is lying down. Garbha ocean, in which Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is lying down. And there is milk ocean within the universe, where Kshira means milk. Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is lying down. So in this way, these three are called Purusha incarnations. So Purusha. So that is what here it is explained. For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes three Vishnus. The first one is Mahavishnu. Creates the total material energy known as Mahatattva. The second, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, enters into all universes to create diversities in each of them. And the third, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, is diffused in all pervading super soul in the universe and is known as Paramatma. He is present within the atoms. Everyone who knows these three Vishnus. Now all of you know these three Vishnus? Yes or no? Unmute and say yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Everybody?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Are you sure? Anybody doesn't know? Understand? Okay. So anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material bond, entanglement. Thank you. So I'm talking to Muktatmas. You already got liberated. How nice, no? This is the speciality of Krishna consciousness. Simply knowing certain information can simply liberate you. So anyone who knows these three Vishnus, people are being, oh, will I get liberated? Will I get karma? This, that, and all. Prabhupada has given liberation in every step. If you just walk behind Prabhupada and his teachings, follow him, only one step if you take, that is liberation. You're liberated from material world. Next step, next step. Every step you take towards Krishna consciousness by the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, you're always into liberation and success, actually, spiritually successful. People are doing big, big tapasyas and mental philosophical speculations not to attain the state of liberation. But we are simply becoming liberated by knowing these three Vishnus. So this material world is a temporary manifestation of the energy of the Lord. So this external energy is temporary manifestation. And any activity within this material world is directed by this three Vishnu expansion of Krishna. So these Purushas are called Purusha incarnations. Incarnations are Purusha. They are a Purusha avatar. Generally, one who does not know the signs of Krishna assumes this material world. So generally what people think, hey, only one life is there, yaar, let us enjoy. They think it's only one life. Point number one. Second, they think that this entire world, entire life is for only one reason. Everything God has created for our enjoyment. Sometimes when we have some Christians or somebody, we ask, why are you eating animals? Why are you killing? You are talking so much about mercy, mercy. They use the word mercy, mercy so many times. So if you're talking about mercy, then why can't you be merciful on animals? Why can't you kill them? Why you're killing them? Then they have an answer. They say that God has created this world for our enjoyment. All the items in this world are for our enjoyment only. Then where is the religiosity? There is no religion only. So here, generally one does not know the signs of God. So that is not signs of God. There you will understand that whoever is telling that this world is meant for enjoyment, you can understand he doesn't know the signs of God. In fact, he doesn't know the signs of himself also. So assume that this material world is for the enjoyment of the living entities. And the living entities are the Purushas. We are the cause, we are the reason, everything is created for my happiness. And they say that even the animals like the chicken, mutton, whatever they are eating, all the goat and hen, everything is created for their enjoyment. They say that God has created all these things for my enjoyment. If I don't enjoy, who will enjoy? Like that, they will kill the animals ruthlessly. Because they think they are the cause, they are the controller. See, the overall idea is the enjoyment is not just eating. If I say that, okay, I'll present you an Audi car, you enjoy it. Will you cut it and make curry out of it? You will drive it. Same way, even if we say that, okay, you beget a child for your enjoyment, will you, not you, that materialistic person, whoever is telling that everything is for enjoyment, so animals are for enjoyment. So enjoyment doesn't mean that you cut them and eat. That is saying you're finishing, no more existence. That vastu doesn't exist, not vastu, that living entity is no more existing in front of your eyes. It's finished. What is that called? Enjoyment. It's not enjoyment. It's actually suffering for that other living entity. This has to be understood. So otherwise also, we are not meant for enjoyment here. There is a purpose of life, and that has to be searched for, and we have to practice. So according to Bhagavad Gita, this atheistic conclusion is false. So thinking oneself to be the Purusha or the controller, another name for Purusha in English is controller. So in the verse under discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of material manifestations. Bhumi, everything is my expansions, separated, not expansion, separated material energy. So we need to understand that what is matter is nothing but separated energy of Krishna, material energy of Krishna. But Krishna is the cause, controller, and enjoyer of the material energy, not the living entity. So anybody who says the material world is to be enjoyed with the living entity is false. So in this world under discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of the material manifestation. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirming this. So Krishna, for this creation of this material universe, there is separated energy. That is, we saw Mahatattva is a single piece of chunk. And when it is when it transforms into various shapes and colors and sizes into various universes, and after that, when it annihilates again, it go back the Mahapralaya. After that, it will all become again Mahatattva. So, which is the so impersonalist? What they do? Okay, this is one thing. The impersonalists go to the Brahmajyoti. The Brahmajyoti is the outside sky of the Vaikuntha Lokas. Anybody who doesn't has not developed affection and love for Krishna, they cannot Krishna, Narayana, whatever. You cannot enter into the spiritual planets. So they'll be hanging around in the sky. So there are no spiritual. So Brahmajyoti is so boring because there is no diversities in the Brahmajyoti. Varieties missing. Whereas in Vaikuntha Lokas and all the spiritual planets, there's beautiful varieties. So the impersonalists, they accept the Brahmajyoti as the ultimate goal. Okay. The Paramatma manifestation is also temporary. How do you say that? How do the Paramatma you see permanent or temporary?
The active material world again becomes Mahatattva.
Okay, what happens to Paramatma?
I don't know.
So the Paramatma manifestation is temporary because the Paramatma concept comes inside material world only. Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, all the three Vishnus are. But actually, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is a permanent personality. He'll go back into Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu will go into Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu has a spiritual Vaikuntha planet, he will reside there. So actually, in one sense, he is permanently residing the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Mahavishnu. But the Paramatma feature is essential in the material world to accompany the soul. So otherwise, matter will not cooperate with the Jiva. Matter is not the servant of Jiva. So even though in the world many things are there, we want to manipulate them, and Jiva, the matter need not act. Like you want to move your hand up and down. The hand is made of matter, earth, water, fire, air, ether. You can see only blood, bones, and all. So it need not obey your order. You lift the hand, you write this, it won't obey. Need not be. But Krishna's words, they'll obey. So Krishna comes as Paramatma to give Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. In order to give the permission of the activity to happen in the material world by the will of the Jiva. The Supreme Lord has to be constantly giving permission for the matter to act that way. That is why the matter, even inanimate matter, looks like animate. We think only soul is there, that is why it looks animate. So even if the soul is there, your hands and legs need not cooperate with you. Need not necessarily they obey your order. Only Lord says they'll obey. So therefore, the factual absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. So the Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world. Very important information. First, Paramatma manifestation is also a temporary, all-pervasive aspect of Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. The Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world. Therefore, the factual absolute truth is the personality of God Krishna. That is why we cannot say Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is God, he is a supreme God, because in my Kula Devata is Narayana, so Vishnu, so I will. In this way, South India, there are some aspect of so-called Vaishnavas, and they claim that because their ancestors, they have been worshipping Vishnu, they have Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu in their temple, and they claim that he must be Supreme Lord. Krishna is his incarnations, like that. They come from Sri Sampradaya. They say that. But it's very simple to understand. Prabhupada is telling, okay, if you think Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu or Paramatma is only Supreme Personality of God, just because you are worshipping your prominent position in the ancestral temple of the ancient Vedic life, then you cannot claim authority over that. So, to your worshipable Lord. So, the worshipable Lord's position has to be understood. Oh, all gods are same. Oh, you are telling Vishnu also, Krishna only. No. No. Krishna is Vishnu, but Vishnu is not Krishna. That has to be understood. Means Vishnu is not in the Goloka Vrindavana. So Krishna is Krishna. And he has many expansions. And in order to perform service for him, in order to perform certain Herculean task in this world, then Lord incarnates himself into various forms. So Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu Paramatma manifestation. So therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna only. So he is the complete energetic person. He possesses different separated and internal energy. So can somebody say what is the separated spiritual energy of Krishna?
Maya.
Separated spiritual energy of Krishna. What you are telling is
Oh,
separated
sorry.
spiritual energy
Just a
of Krishna.
minute.
Living entity.
Yes. Thank you very much. The living entity, the marginal energy is separated. So we'll see that Mamai Vamso Jiviloke, Jiva Puta Sanatana. So we'll see that Krishna is telling their marginal energy of mind. But separated material energy is the living, the external energy. And the direct internal energy is the spiritual world, Radharani, Go, Vaikuntha, everything. But the living entity is the marginal energy. And it's separated only. Eternally separated being. We are individuals eternally. So in the material energy, the principal manifestation are 8. As above mentioned, we saw Bhumi, Rapo, Anala, Vayu. So namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, sky, and 5 gigantic creation, and gross creation within which the 5 sense objects are included. So this physical sound, touch, form, taste, and smell equivalently work with that. So why are we, even though there is earth, water, fire, air, and sky, why the senses are separately spoken? The 24 elements are there. So there is earth, water, fire, air in the ether. Okay, fine. These combine and form many jadavastus. And in our body, we have these 5 elements only combined together make our body. But we have specially 5 senses: eyes, nose, mouth, ear, and touch sense. These 5, already 5 elements are there, 3 subtle elements are there, then these 5 senses are there. So why can't I just call the sense as one among another part of the living body? Because that's also made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Why separately we have to say about the senses? Is because you see your body has many parts, right? So only the senses are every your body's every constituent is comprised of earth, water, fire, or ether, various combination of that, and that's all. Now, in case if I take a gulab jamun and put in your hand, you're showing your hand, I'm putting the Mahaprasadi Govinde, Iskon Bullet Govinde, I'm putting that gulab jamun. Now the question is, will you feel the taste in your hand? You're not feeling, right? But the same item you take and put it in your skin, in the cheek, still you won't feel it. But as soon as you touch the gulab jamun in your tongue, you start feeling the taste. So that means the senses have some special experiences. Sensors, the nose has some sensor. If a dust goes, it will sneeze like that. So there is sensor, and also there is a constant monitoring happening. So the senses are certainly different from any other earth, water. So the earth, water, fire, or ether with a special ability for this sound, touch. The ear can hear the sound, the touch, all these things. So all this put together totally. Then mind, intelligence, and ego. There are many, and material science comprise of 10 items and nothing more. So, but the other 3 items, namely mind, intelligence, and ego, are neglected by the materialist philosophers who deal with So many people, what they think, I mind like that, this false ego is also there. But most of them doesn't know information about the subtle. They only know the gross. So India, anybody you ask Panjabhuta, they'll immediately tell. But you ask, okay, totally 8 elements are there, only 5 you told. What about the other 3? They don't know. They don't know. So this has to be understood. And we also need to understand this 24 element analysis, along with the comparison with the soul, that is the subject matter of Sankhya philosophy. That is why there is a duplicate Sankhya philosophy, atheistic philosophy is also there, where the existence of God is not recognized. So, therefore, from the eight separated energies of the Lord are manifest 24 elements in the material world. So they are just starting in the Krishna's energy and separated from him. But the atheistic Sankhya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know Krishna is the cause of all causes. So totally Krishna is out of their concept. So they are kept away. The atheistic Sankhya philosophers. The original Sankhya philosophy is to know who am I, who is God, what is the relationship between me and God. So I am right now conditioned within the matter, actually I am living entity. So what is matter, what is spirit, what is the constitutional portion of the spirit soul, what is the next activity you need to do. If you know that, that's all finished. So the subject matter for discussion in the Sankhya philosophy is only the manifestation of the external energy of Krishna. So in Mahabharata war also there is manifestation. Okay. Aparyemam, chapter 7, text 5. अपरेयम इतस्त्वन्यम प्रकृतिम विद्धि मे परम जीवभूतम महाबाहो येदम धारयते जगत. Translation beside these white is okay. Read the translation also, somebody. Translation and purport you read.
Besides
Translation.
these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Purport. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and subtle, mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord, and it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful, as unintelligent men think. The distinction between the living entities and the Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.87.30 as follows. अपरिमिता ध्रुवस्तनुभृतो यदि सर्वगतास् तर्हि न शास्यतेति नियमो ध्रुवनेतारथा अजानि च यन्मयां तदविमुच्य नियन्त्रभवेत् समम् अनुजानन्तं यद् अमातं मातर्दुष्टतया. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as minute energies of your lordship, then they are at once subject to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by the living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that constitutional position only can they be controllers. Therefore, men with limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and the living entities are equal in all respects are actually guided by a faulty and polluted opinion. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme, but they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. While exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks, I am matter and material acquisitions are mine. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with God. Therefore, one may conclude that the Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi energies of Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated.
Tat Sat. Thank you very much, Abhiram. So, wow. So first, Krishna first explained Bhumi Apo Analo Vayu. He explained the matter. He's telling that it is separated, but inferior energy. Okay. Now he is coming beside these, the eight elements already explained. Behind these, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind. So in this material world, he's not now talking about the superior energy, which is internal energy. He's not talking about it. He's talking about jiva, because here in this material world, we see living entity entangled within matter. So he's talking that superior energy, which comprises of the living entities, which are exploiting the resources of the material inferior nature. So, giving a definition, what they are doing here, they are simply time passing, manipulating the matter without knowing what to do. So that is what is going on in the conditioned state. So here it is clearly mentioned that the living entities belong to the superior nature or the superior energy of the Lord. We are also Satsidananda. Krishna is also Satsidananda. But in so many we are different. In some things we are same with Krishna. What is in which we are same with Krishna? Because we are marginal energy of Krishna. So we have deep connection with Krishna. We are also spiritual. He is also spiritual. We are also eternal. He is also eternal. We are complete in knowledge to ourselves, like a component. I was telling, a machine is there, a screw is there. The screw should be complete in itself for his own duty. So same way the Supreme Lord is also full of, the screw is full of knowledge about its operation. The machine is full of knowledge about its own operation. But the machine can comprise of screw, many screws, many other parts. So the Supreme Lord has many energies. So marginal energy is one of that, and in that one of the minute soul is we. So in quantity, we are not cannot equal to Krishna, but in quality, we are of the same quality. So in this way, there is certain similarities are there, which are inconceivable way. We are similar to the Lord, but at the same time, we are different from the Lord. As an individual, we are different from the Lord. We cannot merge into the Lord. Eternally, this individuality is maintained. Eternally, forever, from beginning till now, forever, the individuality will be maintained. At the same time, we are connected with Krishna in service. So the and in quality, of course. So, for example, if the father is begetting a child, the father and mother, I don't like this world, I will come and merge with you. The child cannot go back and merge. Even within the womb, the child is separately staying as another living entity within the womb. It is not coming from the mother's body, like from her body, one part is just falling down, not like that. Separately, when they take the scanning, they show the baby separately sitting within the womb. Just because it's coming out of the mother doesn't mean that it emerged out of the mother. It had a separate residence, and it was an individual, and mother is a separate individual, father is a separate individual, like that. So the inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, but both forms of material nature, namely gross and subtle, are product of the inferior energy. But the living entities who are exploiting this inferior energy has a different purpose. They are superior energy of the Lord. Okay. And due to this, the entire material world is functioning because of the combination. So the cosmic manifestation separately, matter itself doesn't have any power without any the spiritual power. The spiritual has to combine with the material. Of course, the sanction of the Lord is the primary, but at the same time, the elementary level, if you see, the living entity and the matter, both are there. Of course, the permission is given by the Paramatma. The energies are always controlled by the energetic. Every time the energies are controlled by the energetic. So even though we are separated, we are connected. So how to understand? Prabhupada is giving an example of a ball which we play with an elastic. I don't know whether you remember before 10, 15 years and all these things were sold in the shops, where you have a rubber band kind of thing, and at the end of the rubber band is a ball. So you can just throw it, but the connection still is in your hand. And you can withdraw it, and again you can throw it, you can withdraw it, you can throw it and withdraw it. Like that, even though the manifestation is thrown away, but still it has the connection with Krishna. So there, and we can never be, the jiva can be equal to Krishna. Like some unintelligent people think that I am God, you are God, like that. Very, very casually they are thinking. That is very foolish, unintelligent. So distinction between the Supreme Lord and the Lord is a Lord and the living entity is very clearly given in Bhagavatam. One of the verse translation is put here. The supreme eternal, it is embodied living entities were eternal or pervading in you, and they would not be. So the overall idea is the men with the limited knowledge who advocate the monist theory of God and the living entities are equal in all respect are actually guided by faulty and polluted opinion. So actually there is no merging, only there is a liberation, and by surrendering by the living entity. So this surrendering will make a living entity so comfortable because it's a natural constitutional position. So how the living entity is naturally blissful? Because naturally servant of Krishna and when involved in service of Krishna, so much bliss is coming, and that bliss is our natural right, birthright as a spirit soul. So Krishna is the only controller, living entity is never the controller, living entity is never equal to the Lord nor superior to the Lord. So Krishna, another name for Krishna, one name in scriptures it is given called Asama Urdhva. Asama Urdhva, A means no. Sama means equal, Urdhva means higher. So there is nobody higher or equal than Krishna. So the Mayavadi philosophers, they claim that Jiva and God are same. We are all only God. We are in the equal position like that. So that is, it is never, but they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. Of course, in quality of their existence, they are one and the same with the Supreme, but never equal to the Lord in the quantity. So always you should remember that what is this Achintya Beda Abheda Tattva which we are following, which we are understanding, that is the truth, that the living entity is superior energy, Krishna's energy only, but at the same time, we are qualitatively very, very minute. So just while exploiting, as soon as it is coming into the material world, it start exploiting the matter in this busyness, They say busyness is keeping business. Business is nothing but keeping yourself busy. So everybody is busy, hither and thither. Everybody is running from dog to cat. There is absolutely no job for the dog. But if you look it into the street, it will be in the four legs, tip, 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 tip. It will keep running here and there as if it is going for very important task. But there's no task only, except for eating, mating, sleeping, defending, finding some food. Other time also it will be roaming around, it will have some friends, it will be sitting there, it will go from this street to that seat. It will be so busy. So here, similarly, this living entity is so busy manipulating the matter. So because of that, because of this playing around with matter, it forgets. Because of that influence of the matter on the living entity, it forgets its original position. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of illusory energy, it attains a stage called mukti or liberation. So the false ego is nothing but, so what is this liberation? We may be in material world, we may be in spiritual world. Liberation doesn't mean that you leave the world. Not required. Despite staying in this world, one can be liberated. So when a living entity is free from the influence of illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti. The false ego. Okay. So despite within the material world, one is coming out of the illusory energy. In the same chapter, we'll see that the Maya is very difficult to overcome. By the blessing of Krishna, one can easily overcome. So the false ego is the primary aspect that we saw. That what is the activity of false ego? Can somebody say?
Thinking oneself as the proprietor, it makes him to lord over the material nature.
Okay, false ego means thinking oneself to be the proprietor, lord it over. Okay. Any other simpler definition? Of course, this is output of a false ego, what you're telling.
I means I am this matter.
Very
None
good.
of its own.
Identifying oneself with the matter. Okay.
Yes.
So always remember whenever you see the word false ego, because Bhagavatam and all, there are every 10th page, 5th page, there will be so much description about matter, I mean false ego and all. If you don't understand the concept correctly, you will be in trouble. Ego means aham kara. Aham means me. Kara means self-identity. Ahamkara means your identity card. Very simple. Ego means identifying yourself. So there is a true ego and there is a false ego. So specifically here it's mentioned false ego. Every time Prabhupada translates Ahankara into false ego in this place, in some places he has translated into something else. So why? Because Ahankara means identifying oneself as a body. Then it is false. Identifying oneself as a spirit soul, it's a correct Ahankara. Why this word false is used along with the ego? It's because ego is identifying yourself. And if you falsely identify yourself, it's called false ego. The true identification is called self-realization. I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul, I'm servant of Krishna. So under the influence of material illusion, he is thinking, I am matter, a material acquisition of mind. These are all the reasons. For the false ego is the reason for this. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from material desire, including the concept of becoming. So, Maya is not just coming out of material ideas alone is mukti from Maya, but one should also come out of the idea that I am equal to God. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita is confirming living entity is only one of the multi energies of Krishna. Can somebody say what are all the multi energies of Krishna?
Internal energy, marginal energy, and external energy.
Very good. When this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious and liberated. So, living entity is only one of it. Which category does living entity belongs? Which energy?
Marginal energy.
Very good. Marginal energy. So, material contamination, when it is coming out of the external energy, then it becomes fully conscious, Krishna conscious, because it's a natural for him. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Bhagavad Gita 7.6. एतत् योनीनि भूतानि सर्वानिति उपधारयाहं कृष्णस्य जगत् प्रभव प्रलयस्तथा. All created beings have their source in their two natures. So either in this material world, either it has to be in matter or living entity, non-living entity. Very simple. Have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So that there are two things in this world, material and spiritual, and Krishna is the source of both. Okay, read the purport.
Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is the basic field of creation, and matter is the creation created by spirit. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only on the basis of spiritual energy. This material body is developed because spirit is present within matter. A child grows gradually to boyhood and then to manhood because they add superior energy. Spirit soul is present. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation of the gigantic universe is developed because of the presence of the super soul, Vishnu. Therefore, spirit and matter, which combine to manifest this gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the Lord, and consequently, the Lord is the original cause of everything. A fragmental part. Mataji, can you scroll down? A frag. A fragmental part and parcel of the Lord, namely the living entity, may be the cause of a big skyscraper, a big factory, or even a big city, but he cannot be the cause of a big universe. The cause of the big universe is the big soul or the super soul. And Krishna, the Supreme, is the cause of both the big and the small souls. Therefore, he is the original cause of all causes. This is confirmed in the Kada Upanishad 2.213. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam.
Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So already we saw that either in this material world there will be either matter or spirit. The spirit is the living entity and there is matter. So everything that exists is the product of this matter and spirit only. So the basic field of creation from which every ingredient is taken, that is the basic field of creation is matter only. But matter is created by the spirit. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only by the basis of spiritual energy. So, because the spirit souls want to take forms, the material world is existing. And the material body is developed because spirit is present within the matter. Why the matter seem to grow? See that a child is born and it is growing and growing and growing. If you sow a seed, it grows into a plant and then to a tree and then to a more stronger tree and big tree. In this way, you can see the growth. So generally, jada doesn't grow, but you see this growth and all this development is because of there is a how a child it grows. So the superior energy, spirit soul is present. So similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation is developed because of the presence of the super soul Vishnu. Not because soul is there. This is very, very important to understand. Many people, when they start up Krishna consciousness, oh, itna jnaan hai, they say that so much knowledge, we got so much knowledge. Okay, when I ask, what knowledge did you get? They keep saying that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul, I'm spirit soul, I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. So many evidences were given. I started believing I'm the spirit soul. Okay, okay. But what is the spirit soul about? What is that? There is higher knowledge than that, right? So simply identifying I'm not the matter, I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul is not a complete knowledge. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. And the entire cosmic manifestation is present, developed because the presence of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Only because Vishnu is allowing it is happening. Not because soul is there. Why the body is operating? When we ask those people who talk like this without, means they hide Krishna, they don't talk about anything related to Krishna or the relationship with the jiva with Krishna, but they just want to play around. We are not the body, we are soul, we are not the body, we are soul. Oh, so much knowledge, so much knowledge. But what is it? But this body and soul alone cannot actually make this universe function if it is not for Vishnu. So the souls are also injected within this universe by Vishnu only. And he is glancing over the matter, then the matter becomes manifested into multi-universes. So therefore, spirit and matter, which combine and manifest the gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the Lord, two different energies we can see here. Matter is one energy, spirit soul is another energy. But Lord is the cause of everything. If they can combinedly work, that is because of the Lord's mercy. So a fragmental part and parcel of the Lord, namely the living entity, may be the cause of big. So we may be creating big skyscraper, this, that, and all very big things, a big city and all. But we cannot create big universe because we are fixed inside a universe. So you would have taken many births from the beginning of Brahma's time because of the karma bandhana. We are being born again and again in the same universe to give and take. The cause of the big universe is a big soul or a super soul, and Krishna, the Supreme, is the cause of both big and small souls. So Krishna is for everybody. Therefore, he is the original cause of all causes. So this is confirmed in Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Okay. This is also a very beautiful verse. Only the translation will see. I don't know how big is the purport. Okay. मत्तपरतरं नान्यत् किञ्चित् अस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वम् इदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव. Translation, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Read the purport.
There is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. That the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is, the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, Mataji, can you stop? The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version given in the Svetashvatara Upanishad. Tato yad uttaratam tad arupam anamayam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti athetare Dukkham eva piyanti. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is the transcendence, who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental. But those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam, but this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Other verses in the Svedasvatara Upanishad substantiate this as follows: Vedaham etam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasha parastat tam eva viditvati mrityum eti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya यस्मात् परं नापरम् अस्ति किंचित् यस्मान्ननियो नो जयो स्थिति किंचित् वृक्ष इवा स्तब्धो दिवि तिष्ठति एकस् तेनेदां पूर्णां पुरुषेण सर्वम्. I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness. Only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of that Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to the Supreme Person because he is the supermost. He is smaller than the smallest and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree and he illumines the transcendental sky, and as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all pervading by his multi energies, both material and spiritual. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whatever we saw, thank you, Prabhu. That's it. So the evidence is given here about the form. The Supreme Lord has a form. So the Upanishads, sorry, what is this? This Svetaswara Upanishad is giving the evidence for that. So here Krishna is telling that everything, nothing is superior to me. So now Krishna is talking about Ishvara. So we saw the Jiva, Ishvara, Kala, Karma, Prakriti, or the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita, and we get some tips here that in this chapter that continuously we are getting one after the other, 3 concepts. First is what is the Prakriti, and then what is Jiva, and then we see now Ishvara. So there is no truth which is superior to me, and everything is resting upon Krishna like the pearls are strung on a thread. So there is now Prabhupada is breaking the principle of impersonalism. Now, does Krishna has an impersonal feature? Yes. Yes. He has an impersonal feature, but he is not, that is not all. That is very minimal realization. Very, very minimal. There is no variety in that. There is no clear understanding in that. So in India especially, when anybody comes to spirituality, they always claim God to be the supreme absolute truth, to be impersonal. Personal or impersonal, that always there is a debate, but they claim to be impersonal. So, but as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, absolute truth is a personality of God, it's Sri Krishna. Very clear, and this is confirmed in every step. So, in this verse in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. Conqueror, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me. So, personality is speaking. And it is Krishna. It's so obvious, so clear, and straightforward. That personality of God, it is supreme absolute truth, and also that affirmation of the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satsidananda Vigraha. So that is supreme absolute truth is a personality of God, Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasures. So Govinda and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. His name is Govinda. So this is the explanation of this verse. These authorities leave, so three authorities are quoted here. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. Sarvakarana Karanam. But the impersonalist, what do they say is they take certain aspects of the Vedic system and they say that Lord doesn't have form, he doesn't have qualities, he doesn't have energy like that. Nirakar, they use this word, Nirakara, Nirguna. These are all the words they use. It is true in certain portions of the Vedas, the Krishna is describing us. Sorry, what I was telling. Just give me a second. Dozed off. Okay. So based on the Vedic version, certain aspects, they say that the God doesn't have quality or God doesn't have a form. Some places it is mentioned, of course, it is true, but where it is mentioned, it is God doesn't have material qualities. He doesn't have like Rajaguna, Tamaguna, Sataguna. These qualities are not there in Krishna. And his body is not made up of earth, water, fire, or ether, or whatever it is. So he doesn't have a spiritual material form. He doesn't have a material guna. So it may be mentioned as he is without guna, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have spiritual qualities, spiritual world, spiritual existence, spiritual emotions, spiritual interactions. Everything is there. There variety. So the Upanishads mention in the material world or Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe is understood to be the supermost among the demigods, human beings and lower animals. So demigods, human being, lower animal, for everybody, Brahma is the chief. But beyond Brahma, there is the transcendence who has no material form and is so Brahma also has material form. But beyond Brahma, there is a personality who doesn't have a material form. Because he's out of matter, he created matter means he's outside matter, right? And free from all material contamination. So anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental. So if we know Krishna, we are establishing a connection with Krishna, then what happens? We are also becoming transcendental. Touching Krishna will make us transcendental. Like there is an electricity in a wire. So you have a plate, metal plate. So in one corner it is there. In any corner you touch, you will get shocked. Same way, if you touch Krishna through devotional service in any way, then you're going to be fully benefited. Anyone who know him also know. So here, material contamination is totally going to go, and that person is going to Brahma. There is completely transcendental. So anybody who is knowing it will also become transcendental. But not only that, anyone who know him become transcendental, but those who do not know him will suffer the miseries of the material world. So again, another concept of impersonalism is broken here. The impersonalists put more stress on the word arupam. A means not there. Rupam means form. So arupam, nirguna. In this way, nirguna means there is no quality. So Krishna is described by impersonalists as arubam, arubam. So arubam, rupa means form. Arubam means there is no form. So it indicates the transcendental form of entity, knowledge, and bliss is there in Krishna. Okay. So I know that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is transcendental. Krishna is beyond material, is transcendental. Now, if you know that, what will happen? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, 4th chapter, there is a memory verse you would have done. So simply you know him, only he knows. A person who know him can transcend beyond the birth and death. Only if you know Krishna. So there is another name for Krishna called Mukunda. Mukunda means he can give liberation from material bondage. So there's no way for revelation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Person. So though if anybody tries any other method without developing loving affection for Krishna, even a little bit at least, he should have done in order to make his process successful. If he's not in touch with devotional service, is not going to be successful in any endeavor of him. So he is greater than Krishna, is smaller than the smallest, supermost is there. So all these are about the verses about Krishna. He is situated as a silent tree and he illuminates the transverse stage. The tree spread its roots. So various energies are compared to roots and all. So from this verse, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who is all pervading by his multi energies. How Krishna is still all pervading? Because his expansion is there everywhere as Paramatma. Okay, fine. And who's all pervading and by his multi energies, both material and spiritual. So sometimes when we go and work, I used to work, then they some devotees who are not very matured, I say that, they may be wearing saffron dress or whatever. They ask, oh, why are you going there? That place is Maya. Where there is no Maya. But actually, here it's very clearly mentioned, for those who conclude that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is the characteristics of Supreme Personality of Godhead? Who's all pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. So there can be spiritual energy, there can be material energy. Of course, we have leaders. So Supreme Personality of Godhead is all pervading and by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. We'll see that the spiritual energy gives blessings, everything can be manifested. Okay, we'll see the 8th tomorrow. Any questions or comments? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Any questions or comments? Okay, let us offer our loving, respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desire trees, who can bestow upon us, fulfilling all our spiritual desires, the blessings. Requesting their blessings, Sri Sri Radha Madhava Ashtasaki Vrand, Sri Panchatattva Prahlad Narsinga Devanantadev, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, Sudarshan and Acharya Parampara, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Okay, let's offer our loving, respectful obeisances to all of them. And conclude here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa
कृपा
sindhubhyascha
सिन्धुभ्येव च
paritanam pavanebhyo
पतितानां
Vaishnavebhyo
पावनेभ्यो
namo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrind ki jai.
जय
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय